breaking news out of Toronto. They just issued 4 new charges against that top 5, Hassan Ali. First, he was charged with earlier, I think it was last month or the month before, he was charged with that accessory to the fact of murder. Originally charged with accessory after the fact, but now they've upgraded it to that full-out first-degree murder. He had a fairly large career ahead of him. He had a couple hits, for about four hits on YouTube, 4 or 5 hits. Heard of Me, 2 Cases. What else? The one with that flipper guy. And I think he had 2 songs with that flipper. Heard of Me, Drill Some More, 2 Cases, and that Freeze with Casper TNG. So he had a promising career ahead of him, but now that they've upgraded the charges, it must mean that they've failed in substantiating evidence or whatever to be able to increase the charges to that first degree. So they must have possibly been able to link him as the actual murder suspect that fired the actual shots, quite possibly. I'm not sure on the specifics, but investigators believe he traveled to Kelowna and Calgary, and there's a quite possibility that he's on the run out there. But my personal opinion is he's still in the Toronto GTA area. January 31st, because he's been doing his same old Instagram lives on YouTube and all that, and he looks like he's you can tell in the way his eyes are and everything psychologically that he seems to be in somewhere that he's used to or has been for a long time, and he seems to be quite stagnant with it. So I don't think he has moved to Kelowna or Calgary, but there's a possibility that he might have fled there recently, but I don't think so, because I've tried to keep up with it, and I don't think he would have fled out there. And because you don't see him much as a vehicle owner, so he couldn't have drove over there, I don't think. Because if you look at his Instagram, he usually stands in front of other people's vehicles. You never see him driving, really. You see him kind of, so maybe he got a ride over there, who knows? Because a lot of people like him and all that, but that'll be Canada-wide, that warrant for murder. So he sticks out like a sore thumb, that Hassan Ali. Everybody knows him. Everybody's heard of him. So it won't take too long to get him. And here's him with little baby. If they manage to make the arrest and he's not able to provide some sort of legal defense from wherever he is, in the meantime, he'll be processed into the jail, and that'll be the hardest legal fight, is whenever you're in the jail and unable to access resources such as the internet. Knowing from experience, they won't even give you a copy of the Charter Rights and Freedoms in there in the jail. So how are you supposed to reference out anything? You leave it all up to this lawyer or whatever that's out in the outside world or whatever, and they can just basically do whatever they want with you once you're in there. So the best option for him would just lay low and contact the lawyers and things like that if he is innocent. But if they want him that bad and they believe he actually did it, and they got substantiating evidence, that he committed the crime or whatever, no matter what, they'll take him into custody or whatever and make sure he's off the streets and make sure that the community's safe and everything. Let me see here. He had a huge future ahead of him. There were rumors that Drake was picking him up and all that. And who knows what's going on with that. But his friend Flipper's already in jail or whatever. And let me see here. Flippa GGGG. And I supported them in the beginning. I've never met them or whatever, but I thought, why not support them? I like the songs they came out with. I think they caught my attention with the 2 Cases and the Hurt of Me. That's how I found out about them. But other than that, I've never met them or anything, and the only way I know them is through the content creation program or whatever. I don't know what's going on with him in the street.
They were ducking that like the pain hit. Okay.
Who says, Nick?
But I know he has a lot of support from fans and whatnot. But also there is a family mourning the death of, I can't remember exactly what his name is, but he was also a person of color, I guess you could say. I think around the same region as him, Somalian or whatever. South Asian or Somalian. And, or African. I'm not sure, but one of those. And we'll have to see how that all plays out. Where am I going here? Back here. They just posted it on TPS Homicide 8 hours ago. 2 times. Oh, they posted it on the 21st, so that's today. Let's see what people are commenting. 3 counts of fail to comply. He was on bail for that other one. I don't understand how he would fail to comply 3 times. Unresponsive suffering, blah, blah, blah. Hashim Omar Hashi. He is believed to be violent and dangerous. What the hell? Top 5 local Toronto rapper. About time this clown gets put away. I'm sure Black Lives Matter, being good folks, will turn him in. This isn't top 5 or whatever you want to call this fool. Make an example of this idiot. Take his garbage music off platforms as well. That I don't agree with. I think the music should stay up. It's something historical. And I don't mind the music. And I don't see him going for life either. From what I've seen in Canada, they send them away for like 10 or 15 or 20 years at maximum. And then they release them. I had to deal with somebody that was recently released on some kind of thing like that. They had murdered someone around 15 years ago or something, and somehow they got released under some law or something. Or they only got sentenced to 10 years or whatever for some gruesome act, and that happens in Canada. There are a couple serial killers on the loose in Canada. I'd say about 5 or 10 serial killers on the loose. I'd say about 10 that I've came across. And they won't lock them up, or they only got sentenced to 10 years and they release them. and they continue to kill or whatever, and then it's almost impossible to put somebody away out here. It's really hard. So I'm very surprised that they've got these charges on Hassan, because from my experience, it's very, very hard to charge someone, to get charges to stick onto someone. And so they must have some either some key witnesses that are right there testifying, and they're pushing every day, or they got some good evidence against him, or he's been talking a lot to a lot of people, and he's continuously committing crimes. You can see in the mugshot, he wants to look bad. He wants to look evil. He wants to look crazy. You know what I mean? He's not acting normal. You know, look at the eyes there. You know, he's obviously got something wrong with him. And a lot of those ones do. It's like this ideology that gets spread around by some of the ones they think is like a big homie or whatever, more response. They look up to these ones, right? That think it's cool to do that, and a lot of those ones are in jail. They're not the ones that are out in jail in freedom with these politics or whatever. It's the ones that are like gone for life and stuff, that have these specific politics, like act cool in your mugshot, look cool in your like. You could just you could look normal in your mugshot. You could look goofy in your mugshot. That doesn't matter. But these type of ones, they want to look extra tough in their mugshot, and I swear to God, it never works out for them. And those are usually the ones that are going for a long, long time. That's been the case again and again. I think it's Debbie's time to shine if she stays out of trouble. Because then again, you got to remember, you know, the tattoos, the success, everything's one thing. But at the same time, it also comes down to those days that you want to act out and do bad things, or somebody makes you really mad, like your grandma or your mom or your auntie or something. You just want to like smack her. You can't do that, because that's how you catch a charge. You have to literally try to be as smart and humble as you can. And it's about who's going to last the longest. Everybody has their ups and downs. They have big moments, a month or whatever, or a day. And then sometimes you got days where it's not so good. And those days where it's not so good are actually the most important days, because those days are going to set you apart from those people that lose everything. You can lose everything in a second. Those are the type of days you got to count your blessings and all that, instead of go out and murder someone or whatever, or rob somebody. And I think that's what happened with a lot of them, such as Top5. He got addicted to the success. He thought the world revolved around him, and a lot of people did too, but then they forgot that there's also a lot of other people that are going to be asking questions. And then you put other people's jobs into jeopardy. And even though this woman here, for instance, I don't know her, but I'll say, like, for an example, she might be in big support of Top5. He was a Canadian man of color. He was making things happen for him positively. I mean, even though the rap music wasn't the most, the lyrics weren't the most positive, but everybody liked it. It had a good vibe to it. It was catchy. He was doing big things. But then when AM 680 comes up to you and they start, and then it puts her into a certain position. And then that's when people start to fold or whatever, because she likes being free, and she has an oath that she swore to. Her duty is to keep the streets clean or whatever. And even though she supports Top5 as a person of color or whatever, because she likes to see other people win, because of her specific nomenclature or whatever, just like anybody would. But they'll turn on you. They not necessarily turn on you, but it's the only thing they can do, because she gets a good salary or whatever, and she's seen the jail or whatever, and trust me, they don't want to live in it or go to it or whatever, and then bam, you got the charges issued for you or whatever.
911, what's the problem, fam?
Yeah, there's someone trying to break into the restaurant across the street.
Okay, and what?
Well, someone needs to stop him.
Is it your restaurant, fam?
No, but
Why are you out here stressing about a next man's motive?
because he's breaking the law?
And what, fam? Like, the man's just trying to get his bread up. Loud to flex, broski.
Okay. I guess no Popeyes today, guys.
Whoa, fam. Why didn't you show me as a Popeyes from the beginning, broski? All units. Follow to Popeyes right now. There's some bozo trying to rinse up the store and thing. If you have the shot, take it.
Bro, go.